I'll be the first one to join up if England get involved, or America. I'll be first in line for the job. My dad will as well, and all the boys. We'll all be signing up.
That's a lie. Listen, if you're watching this, that is a lie, Tyson Fury couldn't even defend his brethren's dad getting banged up by security guards, He was held by the barriers, and you're out here trying to defend the country. Stop the cap, bro. Let's keep it moving. Yo guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed to Off the Campus Boxing, like the video, do all of that amazing stuff. This is Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte press conference. Unfortunately, Dillian Whyte is not going to be in attendance. I think it's pretty much saying to Team Fury, you are the superstar, sell the fight. Because Dillian Whyte has got his amount guaranteed, so he doesn't really need to sell anything because you're not going to get any pay-per-view money anyway. So it is what it is. So let's get straight into this.
After Bruno McCall here at Wembley Stadium for the WBC World Heavyweight title, here we go again. This time an all-British World Heavyweight title showdown on St George's Day for good measure, as Tyson Fury returns to action in the United Kingdom. So, to start at the top, Frank, how have you put this together?
We won a purse bid. We put in a world record purse bid for the fight, having not without agreed terms. And here it is. This is huge. This is the biggest, the largest purses ever paid to British boxers on UK soil.
Go on, Frank.
Go on.
This time next year, Frank will be millionaires, son.
Rodney. Anyway, so I'm delighted. I mean, it's great. We're in Wembley. I mean, don't get no better than this. It's going to be a fantastic night. I think we're going to sell out. Just under 100,000 capacity. And it's going to be a special night because you've got the lineal champion, the WBC champion, who not been here for 4 years, not fought in the country for 4 years, and we've had a lot of orders for tickets, and they go on sale tomorrow at noon. Start at 55 quid onwards, but it's going to be phenomenal, and I'm telling you, the atmosphere is going to be brilliant. All we need, unfortunately he's not here today, is the other side of the card to show up.
Sadly, no Dillian Whyte. We're all very disappointed about that.
Why?
What can you say about that now, Frank?
Well, look, we've tried it. Look, first of all, I'll bore everybody. I'll tell you as quickly as I can. WBC put the fight out for negotiations against the mandatory challenger. We couldn't reach agreed terms. We went to purse bids. We won the purse bids. We then had to fulfil certain criteria for the purse bid, which we'd done, ticked all the boxes. He then signed a contract, which he left right to the last minute before he put in, and now he's trying to renegotiate. Well, that's why we had a period to agree terms. So that's where we got to it, and one of the things was that he wanted a private jet to fly him in and out today, but we said yesterday we'll do that. In writing, we'll do that. Then they started adding other stuff to it. They didn't even want to let us use his photograph on a poster. You cannot use his image rights. I've never heard anything like it in my life. I mean, Brad's been doing this not as well, but maybe
almost as long as you.
Yeah, all as long together. I've never experienced. I've never heard of a fight.
Dillian is a G, Hey, Dillian, you're a G, You can't use my face anywhere, fam. That is a boss move. Let's go. Oops.
Never showing up for a press conference for a big fight. He's getting. I'm going to just refer.
Tyson Fury is one of them children, that can't seem to keep still. It's like, well, I'm moving like a nitty, but you know what? Am I the only one that's getting it? But let's carry on. Let's go.
My notes here. He's getting 8 times more than Tyson got to fight Klitschko, an unbeaten fighter, when he went 8 times more. He's getting more than Joshua got paid to fight Martin. He's getting more than Usyk got to fight Joshua. Champions bank on themselves to win. That's what they do to become the king. You win the title, you get the money. The 20% is there. Any good fighters like Usyk did, went and beat Joshua, Now he's in the big time. Ruiz done the same thing. Tyson did the same thing.
What percentage was I on when I beat Klitschko? About 1%?
It wasn't. He wouldn't have been like that if you'd have been with me at the time. But that's what it was.
We're not going to go over old ground, Frank, are we? Or else we're going to be scrapping more.
Frank, thank you very much. We are where we are.
Yeah.
Now, Tyson,
but we are where we are. But we are where we are. But that's just not right. We are where we are, but Dillian Whyte isn't. He's in Portugal. He should be here. It's disgraceful that he's not here. It's not professional. If somebody else had won a purse bid, we would have helped to make that work. Would have been Tyson or anybody, and he's done it. He goes to the press conference. This is mad.
Why can't Eddie Hearn be there if it's so disgraceful? If it's all disgraceful, why can't Eddie Hearn turn up? That Dillian Whyte is his fighter. Dillian Whyte has been fighting with Eddie Hearn for the longest. Why can't Eddie Hearn come? Why was he not invited? But let's move.
Thank you, Frank. Congratulations, Tyson, on everything you have achieved, from coming from the other side of the card to being the unquestioned draw, the undisputed number one at this time.
Huh?
So I mentioned a couple of...
Huh? No, he's not. Huh? Bruv, these don't just make some stuff up, you know. Big man thing. They just make their own things up. Undisputed. Bruv, you're not undisputed. Usyk is the unified heavyweight champion of the world. You only have one belt. Everything else that you've got is not a belt. Ring Magazine, Lineal Championship, yeah. Flipping the Gypsy Championship. That's not... Oh, Gypsy King, sorry. That's not like any belts that you can win in boxing. Just put it out there.
Legendary moments at Wembley Stadium, old and new. So now it's your turn. What does that mean to you to have your opportunity here at Wembley, back home in the UK, after, as Frank says, 4 years?
Yeah, it's been an absolutely roller coaster of a ride. I've been across the Atlantic Ocean, in the exotic venues of MGM Grand, T-Mobile, Staples Centre, and I just feel like the song Thin Lizzy, the boys are back in town. 4 years away, and I get to come back and showcase on the world's biggest stage at Wembley Stadium with 100,000 people there. I'm just putting it on so the fans can come. The people who travelled to Las Vegas, not everybody was able to come. For the people who stayed up till 5 a.m. to see those fights on BT Sport, yep. So now they can come and they can enjoy event on home soil and be a part of history. And people will be talking about this event saying, where were you when this happened? In a few years to come, people will be sitting back and thinking, where were you on that night of 23rd of April 2022 when Tyson Fury smashed this fella to pieces in front of the home fans in the UK. And I believe the biggest British heavyweight fight probably since Lewis Bruno, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
There hasn't been a bigger one since. An all-British showdown for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the world. Fantastic event, and I know Dillian Whyte's going to come in prepared, and he's going to come in rugged and rough and game and aggressive, and he's got a big left hook, a big right hand, and who knows, it could be me chinned on night. But I think that both fighters are going for the knockout in this fight, and I just think when I land the Lancaster bomber on his jaw, it's going to be over. That could be in round 1, and it could be in round 6. I don't see it going past them, Frank.
No,
but I'm looking to put on an excellent night showcase of knockout boxing for the UK fans, and then sing a load of songs afterwards and have a good time. Party on down in the big smoke.
You've already given us a little insight into what the ring music would be on the night, which is fantastic, incidentally. Good choice. Boys are back in town. You are back in town. There is no Dillian Whyte here today, Tyson. In recent times, we have watched you on these occasions, if I may say, almost winning the first round.
Bruv, listen, I'm sorry, but that is a great choice. The boys are back in town. Listen, banger, let's go.
On these occasions, getting inside the mind of your opponent. Are you disappointed today that you're not having the chance to try to do that against...
I'm not concerned, because this is the Tyson Fury Roadshow, and the next stop is London, United Kingdom. It's never about the opponent, like whether it's his face on there or somebody else's. It's really important. It's ugly anyway, it doesn't really matter. Take him down, we should take him down, Frank. This is about this man over here and celebrating his legacy and his boxing career, and celebrating it on the biggest stage that the world can get, really. And it doesn't matter if it's Dillian Whyte, doesn't matter if it's Joe Joyce, Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua, Usyk. It doesn't really matter. Wherever it will stop next it's always going to be the Tyson Fury Roadshow. And like I said when I was fighting Klitschko, there's only been one man on these shores ever, and he goes by the name of Tyson Fury. I'm the only man on these shores, the only man who can deliver, pull it out every single time when the pressure's on. And even when I'm put down in twice in the 4th round, I will get back up. That's what I do. I feel like I needed to stand up and say that right.
That's not a speech from sitting down. You know, you should have got on the table.
Brad,
Are you not entertained?
Brad, if I could turn to you for a moment, please.
One person. Yeah.
There is obvious frustration that Dillian Whyte is not here. But with a global perspective on this fight, would you say to our audience today that Whyte, A, deserves an opportunity, and B, is a very credible threat, as I think Tyson has just intimated?
He's certainly a credible threat. I mean, he's one of the top available contenders. You know, you've got the other guys that are in line, but he's number one. He's here. He's going to be fighting Tyson. He may not be here on the day of the press conference, but he'll be here on the night. It's unprofessional, like Frank alluded to earlier, that he's not here today. But we get past that, we'll move on, and it'll be a historic night.
And in the longer view of all of this is for everybody, really.
Was it unprofessional when Frank Warren turned around when Dillian Whyte lost to Perfect and said, "You're not mandatory anymore"? Was that professional then? It's professional when it suits you, but it's unprofessional when it doesn't suit you. Let's keep it moving.
Is it possible to say that Whyte has been unlucky to have popped up in the era of Anthony Joshua, and particularly the way Tyson Fury has flourished?
I think everyone. I think everyone is second best to Tyson. So in the ring, in personality, entertainer,
In looks.
that goes without saying.
Choice of music.
It will be. It will be on the 23rd.
No way.
You'll find out. It will be. It'll be an unfortunate for him on the 23rd, because everything about this is somebody who he doesn't want the head to head. Don't want to be looking. I remember in the 3 fights in the States when we were out there for the 3 fights with Wilder. The first one, it was all quite jolly, in as much he thought it was going to be okay. And then Tyson got to him. And after that, the next 2 fights, he just didn't want to engage. Remember, with the headphones on, it's like something. Tyson, I'm talking like he's not here, but he gets into their heads. And I think Dillian Whyte's worried about that. That's why he's not here.
What about the technical aspects of this fight, Tyson? Your preparation, the sparring partners that you will select. You've mentioned that Whyte has got certain elements to his game that need to be watched very carefully. How are you going to prepare for all that?
Just the same as we prepare for every single fight. We train hard, we eat well, we sleep, eat, train boxing. He's no different to many of the other opponents that I fought in my career. They're all dangerous, they've all got a puncher's chance. They all want to win, and they know that riches and glory await victory. So I always put a lot of pressure on myself, and like I say, if I can't look like Muhammad Ali boxing this guy, then I'm in the wrong position and I'm not as good as I think I am. I will chop him to bits, not a problem. I will smash his face right in. You're going to see a boxing masterclass. You're going to see the difference in levels. You're going to see the Ferrari racing the Vauxhall Corsa in a race, and that's the difference. There's levels to this game. I'm not saying Dillian Whyte's not capable of winning a fight, because he's won nearly 30 fights, but there's a gulfing difference in class here. This man is a big old strong fella who can swing a big old hard punch in and knock a man's back out if he connects. But if I'm daft enough to get hit off him and knocked out, then I don't deserve to be world heavyweight champion, Frank. I'm going back on a little bit where you said it's unfortunate for him. No, he's getting the biggest payday of his life. I'm not very good at maths, but how many 250 grands can we fit in 8 million? Can anyone tell me that?
32.
32 times his biggest payday. So, unfortunate that. 32 times his biggest payday.
Fact check. Dillian Whyte's pay-per-view price is at £20, around £20. Okay. For him to get, 250,000. How much is 20? That means he would have to have sold around 25,000 pay-per-views. I'm not being funny. Not even that, less than that, yeah. He would have to sell around 25,000 pay-per-views Dillian Whyte, on average, does 200 to 300 pounds, or 2 to 300 pay-per-view buys. So if you do the maths, it's not really possible. So fact check, that's incorrect. Let's go.
He should be here today kissing my feet and washing my feet, because I'm giving him 32 times his biggest payday that he'll ever get in his life. His only payday that he'll ever get in his life. So, I don't know about unfortunate. He's very lucky that he's in my era. He's very lucky to be receiving this amount of money. The man's only thing he's ever won's a British title, Frank.
Correct.
Only thing. And he's been banging on how we're all scared of him. But I've given him a new name anyway. He's called... Are you ready for it?
I'm waiting for this guy.
He's called Dillian Whyte Knickers. Okay? It's not Dillian Whyte. It's Dillian Whyte Knickers. Because he's as soft as what it says in the title. You know, he has definitely shown the white flag today.
Do you know what's crazy, yeah? He's coming up with all these bars. But Dillian Whyte's not there, big man. So you're speaking to a brick wall at this point. Let's carry on. I don't know what Dillian means, but let's just keep it up. Maybe it's a northern thing, so I don't know.
All this social media stuff, I'm not promoting the fight, I'm not getting involved in mind games. You know, before I was like, you know what, when I say stuff about Dillian Whyte, he always fires back and he gets upset and he causes a bit of a ruckus. Now it's like, say what you want about the guy, call him whatever you want, he's never even gonna, he's given me that much more confidence, it's unbelievable.
You know, I've been around now, God knows how long in boxing, it's a long, long time, but for me, he's without a doubt the best, and I know we've talked about Lennox Lewis and the guys, but I think he's the best heavyweight in my time, British heavyweight in my time, and he's certainly the best heavyweight of his generation, bar none. And he did what nobody else could do. He went to Germany and beat Klitschko, boxed his head off.
Nah, mate, you can't say that, man. You can't say that, man. You can't put him on top of Lennox. Ain't no way you can put him on top of Lennox. Lennox Lewis is one of the best heavyweights of all time. No way he's above Lennox. No way.
Absolutely boxed his head off. Went to the States, beat the hardest punching heavyweight statistically. Not once, 3 times. In 3 different fights. They were all different fights. He boxed him. He fought him. He went out and knocked him over. I mean, all different types of fights. And that's the versatility and the boxing brain that Tyson Fury's got. And for me, and I mean this with the greatest respect, there's no miles on the clock. I mean, he had 1 fight in 2 years. That's all he's had. And you look at his record, the stop-start in his record, he's a phenomenal fighter. You know, he's got to be somebody extra special to beat Tyson Fury. That is if there is somebody extra special to beat him. He's a phenomenal boxer, and he's a phenomenal person to do what he's done and come back from where he was.
Brad, this all looks straightforward in a sense to us because the British public, we know, we sense it all the time, have bought so much into Tyson Fury for reasons in and out of the ring. But for yourself and Bob Arum and the American public, all we see is the week of the fight, those Wilder fight weeks. What has his impact been wider in America? And what does this fight do for the business of Tyson Fury globally?
Certainly. Look, we're talking about, this is a Hollywood movie in action as we're speaking. You know, this is an amazing character, fighter, person. You know, I don't need to repeat everything Frank's already mentioned. The American public has taken to Tyson, you know, part of
Sorry, mate.
We're going to open. I think it's appropriate that we give you an opportunity to tell everybody one more time, what are you looking to show us in this fight?
Do you want me to say any more? No, I'm looking to show the people and the boxing fraternity how good I really am. And what a better opponent to do it against than a man who's been calling for the fight for
5 years, probably.
300 years.
352 years. He finally gets his shot on the biggest stage against the biggest champion on the biggest night. I will not fail. I'm just going to show you how great I really am. I beat men like him 7 days a week and 62 times on a Sunday. And I'm going to prove that to you come April 23rd.
What's that supposed to be?
All right, Tyson, thank you very much indeed. Frank and Brad, thank you very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen,
Pretty good.
please just
For England and St. George.
make yourselves known if you'd like to ask a question or two.
Right there.
And thank you, Ralph. Ralph will get the microphone to you. If I could just ask you, please, to identify yourself as you do that. You'll be next, sir, the white jacket. Thank you.
Let's go.
Danny Flexen from Seconds Out. Tyson, I interviewed Sugar Hill a couple of weeks ago, and he said he felt that Dillian Whyte was quite similar to Derek Chisora.
Yeah.
What do you think are the similarities and differences between those two?
I think they're both pretty similar, to be fair. They had 2 good fights together. It was nip and tuck in the first fight. I actually thought Derek nicked the fight by a few rounds. Second fight was going Derek's way as well, and he obviously got chinned in about round 10 or 11. Very, very close competitive fights. So, yeah, I think they're very similar in stature and in weight and in style. And I've handled that style plenty before. And I hope you've got your interview camera ready, because I owe you one. Promise is a promise, Danny. We go back a long way.
Next one. Thank you.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Mr. Fury, the whole world is going to watch this today. What's your message to Dillian Whyte, your personal message to him today?
My personal message to Dillian Whyte today is this. I will win this fight for England and for St. George on St. George's Day. There we go.
What's that supposed to be? Hold on. What's that supposed to be? No,
Tyson, this is Matt for Into Boxing. With everything you've achieved in the ring, will perhaps your biggest achievement be what you've done outside of the ring in terms of helping people with mental health and things like that? Because I'm sure you get messages daily with people telling you that you've, saved a life or helped a friend. Will that mean more to you than titles in the ring?
100%. At the beginning of it all, when I was a young kid, the dream was to be world heavyweight champion, and I always thought that was my calling card until I was open with a mental health struggle, and all that was well documented. To win a boxing match is a fantastic thing for an individual, and it's a fantastic sport and achievement.
First question that I would ask: would you be open to inviting Eddie Hearn to the press conference? Simple. Number 2, are you open, because Dillian Whyte's not obligated to be attending those press conferences? Would you be open to giving him money to promote this fight on a pay-per-view basis? Let's go. That's the question that I would ask.
And it's good to be what you desired to be your whole life, but to save somebody's life from death, that's an even better feeling. Not many people can say, well, I saved that person's life, that person's life, that person's life. But like I say, I get a lot of mail, or I get a lot of messages from people where I help them, their brother, their cousin, their auntie, their mother, anybody. I think that's my biggest achievement in life, is saving people from death, because give them hope that there is help on the other side. And other than that, biggest achievement is wife and family, for sure. The fight in London.
I'm delighted. This is where it should be. Wembley, London, record purse bid, the man, first time back in 4 years. This is what we all want. That's what British fans, everywhere I've been going.
Yeah, there's reasons why it's the record purse bid. That's like saying I paid the most money to the highest transfer fee for a footballer. Like, that's not really something to brag about. Big man thing. That just means you paid that means you just paid the most out of every single person. That doesn't mean you made the best deal. Put it that way, because you could just lose all this money. So what was that all worth?
When's Tyson fighting back here? When's he fighting back here? Drive me crazy. That's one of the questions you get asked all the time. Well, he's back. 23rd April, St. George's Day. Come and see the man. He's back in town.
One more up here, I think. Thank you.
Boxing King Media. Tyson, what kind of weight will you come in for this fight?
I'm going to try and come in at my heaviest weight of all time. For the biggest fight, in the biggest crowd, you're going to see the biggest Tyson Fury. I'm going to come in like a man mounted. What was my biggest weight? Can anyone tell me? I think it was like 19 stone 11, was it?
Yeah.
19 stone 10. I'm going to come in heavier than 19 stone 10. I'm going to be the heaviest world champion ever.
Okay.
Gareth, Russell Crowe.
Okay, Gareth.
Anonymous Fury.
Tyson, on a more serious note, obviously you talked about Vladimir Klitschko just now, and obviously you've beaten him in the past, but just wanted to get your view on the fact that Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko and your fellow heavyweight world champion Alexander Usyk going back to their country to enlist and sign up and halt the invasion from Putin at the moment. I just wondered what your thoughts were for those guys that they want to protect their own country.
Fantastic. I'll be the first one to join up if England get involved, or America. I'll be first in line for the job. My dad will as well, and all the boys. We'll all be signing up.
That's a lie. Listen, if you're watching this, that is a lie, Tyson Fury couldn't even defend his brethren's dad getting banged up by security guards, He was held by the barriers. And you're out here trying to defend the country. Stop the cap, bro. Let's keep it moving.
And for him not to be a part of it, I think it messes up his legacy a little bit as well. Because in years to come, they'll say it is a really good fight, which I anticipate it will be. He didn't have any involvement in the build-up, the media, that sort of stuff. He'll be not in any photographs. There'll be no old magazines to look at, that sort of thing. I think it's a shame, not just for him, but for his kids and for his family to look back on in time as well. This is a promoter's argument. This is not the boxer's. This is his promoter telling him, don't get involved in any media. Don't sell the fight. Don't do anything. You can't make any more money. But surely at this level, it's about him as a fighter as well. It's not just about promoting an event. It's about being here, being
fact check. Eddie Hearn was not involved in negotiation between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte. Eddie Hearn is not actually promoted by Dillian Whyte. It's on a fight-by-fight basis, and because this fight is not on the Matchroom show, Eddie Hearn has no involvement. Okay, Eddie Hearn is not hired as an advisor of Dillian Whyte, so anything he's saying is absolute cap. Let's keep it moving.
Active and being a part of this, because at the end of the day, his face is up there. Although he's tried to sue us for not putting it up there, he's still up there, and he is a part of this fight, whether he wants to be or not. So he should be here promoting the fight. That's my opinion, and I think it's tough luck for him and his family and his legacy going forward.
And he should be grateful to be involved in it. You know, the fact that we won the purse, because if his promoter had put in the highest purse bid, if we hadn't bid, he'd be getting 2 million less. And he's got an upside. He's got an upside of potentially getting an extra 4 million that's lodged with a WBC if he beats him.
Is his promoter allowed to join the press conference? Because these two are mentioned in the promoter, but is his promoter allowed to be invited to the press conference?
Much for your attendance. What is your last word?
For England and St. George!
Thank you, Tyson Fury.
Guys, this has been your reaction to the press conference. A bit underwhelming because Dillian Whyte wasn't there, but at the same time, I can't really blame him for not turning up, because these men have slandered his name for the past year, 2 years, the pair of him. So if Dillian Whyte doesn't turn up, it is what it is. Thanks for watching the video. Peace, love, prosperity, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.